Happy
hello.
Friday, everybody. You got it that right that time, Nick.
Well, I don't know what to do now. That's the whole deal of like, you always get it wrong and then we take a joke about it. But hey, you got it right today. So
you know what?
It's Friday. Oh God, I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's Friday. We had a short week.
Yes.
It's not called Cloud Foundry Thursday. It's called Cloud Foundry Weekly, and so far we've stuck with that.
Yeah. So it could be any day of the week. Why not?
That's right.
Okay. And
everybody see the Cloud Foundry Day 2025 shirt?
I totally should have worn that today.
I didn't. I have that. I didn't wear that today. That's good.
I mean, that was just like 2 weeks ago. I've worn it twice already.
Me too.
It's back in the laundry.
It's become one of my favorite shirts. This is an awesome design for this shirt. I love this shirt.
I really like the sticker for this year's conference. It looks like a license. I was like, man, that's a smart idea. Like, good sticker, right?
Yeah, and for everybody in the audience, if you want one of these cool ass shirts, you got to come to Cloud Foundry Day.
Yeah.
It's the only way to get them.
Very cool. All right, so I guess we're kind of like, if we let's see, let's look at the channel history. Maybe how do I do this without going into info loop here?
Wasn't it like just 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, maybe episode 3 weeks. Three episodes ago now ish. We started episode 56. This is episode 59. All right, I can do math. We started exploring the concept of Tanzu small runtime, and we, DaShaun, you did a great talk about it at CF Day, and we're starting to get a little bit more buzz, and we mentioned Keith scripts and all his work.
Yeah, we did
to simplify that streamline that deployment process. We attempted at trying to load PowerShell and getting all the tools required, but we kind of ran out of time. So I thought this show would be let's actually go through that installer and get it cooking, so to speak, and then we could banter back and forth about all the different things it's doing. And then I do have one that landed yesterday, so we could look at the full, here's the fully
baked out of the oven.
Yeah, that type of thing. Because as Keith mentioned before going, it could take 2 or 3 hours. So we don't have that much time in our
2 hours 11 minutes is on my machines,
which is low on storage, by the way.
This is not one that is in the cluster, but also in the last time we all hung out, we realized that you can do this on Windows or on Mac. Can we do PowerShell on Linux? Did anybody try that?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so
I will be using my at least if we're following along, I'm going to be using one of my Windows PCs because it's hardwired in, and it has the advantage of fast networking. So I'm going to be using that if that's okay. But yes, you can use PowerShell pretty much on.
Yeah, I've done it on Windows and on Mac, and I think on this time I'm gonna probably fall behind, but I'm gonna do it with Linux this time.
Okay, nice.
And tell you what, speaking of banter, there's this new beta thing coming on StreamYard, so we're gonna turn on this show comments on stage, which is gonna cover Keith's face because the heck with that guy. So every time now automatically comments will come up. We'll see how this works. So those in the audience that are watching,
what could possibly go wrong?
That's right. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
somebody start making comments. Let's see if we cover up Keith.
And hopefully we don't have to immediately turn that feature off, if you know what I'm saying. Right? Okay.
All right, our audience is refined.
Yeah. Well, don't get us in trouble. Anyway, I'll get a screen going. How about that?
That sounds great.
With me. Bear with me while I fumble through the screen process of StreamYard like I do every time. There we go. Oh, look. Oh, it's fancy. It's like
and you're right,
now we're
Aaron.
in all right, hold on. I got to take the inception.
Look at that. Thanks,
it's like we have a dress code on this show, or a hair code.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Darren. Okay, so survey.
So again, we are operating in the Coon Data Center. Yes.
Yes.
He's not the only one with a basement.
Yes, we mentioned that a few times at Foundry Day as well.
DaShaun has basement envy.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna cover up the fully baked here, and I apologize. I I don't use Windows a lot anymore,
Wait.
so I usually struggle.
How come the show's not showing up on YouTube?
Is it not on YouTube?
I'm not seeing it.
All right, I'm checking. I'm the one guy that's not doing stuff. Let me go back and take another look.
It should have been. I just posted it, a link to it.
Yeah, no, it's working. I see it.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe it's just me.
All right, you got me scared. We're good. All right, let's command plus this. So I guess a little bit of situation
it's showing.
Here. Let's go into here. So I'm going into the mobile lab of the portion of my data center. So it's a single box here. This guy hasn't been on for a while, so I've kind of brought him out of the woodwork, so to speak.
Mobile lab. What do you got? This thing in a Pelican case? You just take it on the plane with you?
Well, no, we can go back to the mobile situation here. We go to my blog. This is what it kind of looks like here. So we kind of brought this back for the hackathon in the 23 era of Explorers.
Nice.
So this is just a single node. This is before some of these sweet boxes like the Mini Swarm A2 came out and things like that. So this at the time, now just like a couple years ago, this Desk Meet the ASRock Desk Meet X300 was a good way to get 128 gig of RAM. This is also before the whole like persistent memory thing was a thing. So I was working with that. So I was trying to get 128 gig of RAM, and then I threw in a Ryzen 5700G. So this is an 8-core machine, basically a little bit of a desktop. It's got a 2 tera NVMe drive in there, boot drive, and at the time I put a Tesla T4 in there. I have upgraded that too as well to a NVIDIA A4000 ADA SFF. So it's kind of like the world's smallest, most powerful GPU according to the NVIDIA marketing. So we may be able to get into that a little bit later. But anyway, this is kind of what's going on behind the scenes. Obviously, if you want to read more about it, I have a blog post there. But we're getting back into this vCenter. This vCenter is angry. It's been off for a long time. I think I got everything back. Got everything ready to go.
No, we weren't doing this in pre-show right before we joined in, making sure everything works.
Yeah, so I actually had an older. Yeah, I should have done a little bit more of this, but yeah. So there's an old foundation here, but I really wanted to get into my old ops manager and copy pasta some values because I'm lazy, and that will just make the show a little bit better versus Nick. Lobster clawing all these IP addresses on live. So that was my thought. Okay.
And this is why we're such good friends. You've got the mobile data center in a box. I'm fixing to get the mobile network in a box. That way, when we go places, we can do this wherever we want to.
So I thought about getting like the little Starlink Mini and like having it all in a backpack and like I don't know.
Yes.
We've got to talk. What we're getting is called the PEP Link. It's the briefcase network. So 2 5G carriers you can hook in and bond. Wireless and Ethernet together and have one pipe so that you're always working, and it comes in this nice little Pelican case. You can take it.
Yeah,
I need to know more about this.
There's options. The Ballerina OS allows you to connect to 5G connections or more, and throw it in your backpack. So there is a real small form factor. Actually, it's about this size.
It's like one of these things. Yeah.
It's about this size where I can put 2 of the 5G cards in there. And have one signal. Yeah.
By the way, good call out to Ballerina OS.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about this. Now I feel uneducated.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do this right, if we want to show people how small we can fit these Cloud Foundry foundations, right? A big part of my talk was like, you can put it wherever you want, right? The smallest. I don't have one in arm. I moved everything, but that smallest like form factor of where you might run things. It's typically like this, no matter if you're using Raspberry Pis or x86 infrastructure, like there's a certain size that fits in the closet, in the vehicle, in the platform, in the tower. There's a certain, I don't know, bigger than just slightly bigger than a breadbox size.
Right.
But as we travel, as we're showing this off, right, the whole like Cloud Foundry in your backpack, that's a legit thing. Like that's not even a joke. We've been doing it for a long time, but now it's even smaller. Now it's like a box and one node like the one that you have there, and then one additional piece for the networking, and you're off to the races.
Yeah. Like the NUC form factor is great, though NUC I don't think has come on as much as it was. It lost its edge. NUC was great, well, really form factor, but like many others are in the NUC area, size, but there's better manufacturers out there now putting better kit together.
Yeah, like the minis Forum A2 is like seems to be the sweet spot currently. So we'll see how that plays out.
And couple this in with DaShaun's talk about small form factor. Think of what you could do here. Those edge cases, those oil fields, right? Being able to carry a data center in a box, not just have your network, but also have Cloud Foundry where you can plug in, you can run apps from there. Something you can take on a plane with you. They might get a little angry with you if you try to use it on the plane, but somebody go find out for us and tell us how it goes.
I've been in trouble on a plane before.
So on a side note, like a lot of these plane rides, have like the fully functional, like pretty fast Wi-Fi now. Yeah. And I'm always confused. They're like, you can't make voice or video calls. I'm like, technically I think you can, but I wonder, is that just like FAA regulations still? Like I'm just
QoS.
Yeah, I think it's
or just like, hey, we don't want everyone like killing the network, or is it more of a regulation? I'm just
I think it's both.
Yeah.
And it's ironic that they've got all this great internet now, but still you don't have any space to really fully open your laptop. You're looking like this while you're trying to work. Yeah.
God forbid someone recline behind you or in front of you, and you're like, "Oh no, I can't." Nah.
I mean, three of us are short.
Laptop won't even open.
Bad, but you look at DaShaun. DaShaun looks like a folded up suitcase trying to type on his laptop.
Yeah, and I've done that. Just like set up my Spring Boot application, use the Cloudflare or the ngrok, and post a link on Twitter, and then let people like see me like this on my laptop in economy minus. I've definitely made that happen.
Economy minus.
Mm-hmm. All right,
and just like that, we took the show off the rails.
Yeah. It'd be great if they made seats better. Anyway, we can go into that. All right, so can you read my screen, or is it still like too crazy small?
Yeah, I can read it.
Yep, that's good.
Maybe do a little bit of that. I can kill this. I don't need that. I don't want to. No.
Yeah.
All right.
And you don't have to be too worried about your parameters because I've been tweaking away the code, so now there's over 45 pre-checks. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't Git pulled yet from yesterday, but I'm a little afraid to. Can we just use yesterday's code on this one? Yeah, okay. Because I copied Impasta, one that I filled in. Or no, I didn't.
This is a blank one. Keith, and all your hard work.
Oh, yeah, you don't have it all filled in. Oh, yeah, you should be fine.
Okay. All right. So, I was going to do that, and I failed. So, all right. So this is, I guess if someone wants to throw in the link to Keith, your repo, this is the script, the one PowerShell script that will deploy the whole kit and caboodle, so to speak, for you in about a couple of hours, depending on your hardware speed and capacity, things of that nature. So that's kind of what's going on here. I've deployed this yesterday, so I'm going to copy this guy as well. Or no, I'm just going to load him and then copy these. I'm gonna just be really lazy here and copy all the variables and then overwrite what I need to. Scrolling is problematic here. Why?
I mean, it's not a tiny script. There's a lot there. There's a lot of there.
Yeah, shy of 3,000 lines code.
There's a lot going on here. But
like where it came from, like the history of this is, so when myself, a few other of our colleagues who are now actually also in Broadcom, we were in Dell. We were doing installs for loads of customers. So we were on kind of the hybrid cloud, enterprise hybrid cloud team. So we were doing all stuff with Kubernetes, Cloud Foundry, putting them on VxRail, putting them on vBlocks. And the usual thing, we send our prereqs to a customer before we come on site, and you get 2 thumbs up. Yeah, we checked all those. You get on site and realize, not always, but they missed one, or they skipped one, or they thought it'd be okay to not do it. So yeah, put in firewall request changes. They're not going to be done overnight. They take time. So it was a common pattern where we saw this. So I said, right, let's just write a little script to let them download, running this on site. Let us know if it works, so we know when we do rock up on site, we're most likely going to have a successful day. That's where it really came from. Was when we're in Dell doing installs, we had this little tool we had, and it kind of grew legs. It moved into a product. A lot of for the PKS users. It was Gear 2. Now what's it called? Management console. So PKS users, TKGI. This is what originally came from many, many years ago in Dell when we were working on this. And it came back to this going, okay, I run PowerShell for my own Homelab for various things when I was using VKS, all sorts. But I said, okay, let's PowerShell the install, but also installs are fine. It's the pre-checks that catches people. It says, I'll just reignite all that little logic again and put it into this, all the little common tripping points when you're doing an install. DNS, NTP, do I have enough available IPs? Just so many little checks. Oh, like a common thing. Oh, the NTP works. And then you run a query again. Yeah, I can connect to it, but it's not getting valid queries back or the right type of record. So there's loads of little things, tripping points. So you just want to be hopefully successful first time. It's always a nice feeling rather than going chasing. So that's a bit of history on where it came from.
And for all the customers, listen, pay attention to what Keith said. They're called prereqs, meaning requirements, not pre if you want us. This is the stuff that really helps get you started. And, the fact that you're creating this to try to help with that, the fact that not everybody's doing it, that's great. But yeah, they're requirements for a reason.
Okay. Yeah. So here I'm just going through this list while we're doing that. So I'm getting my vCenter credential
right now. I love you.
Hello. And then
and yes, DaShaun really is that good of a family man.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So let's, I guess, walk through what I'm copying and pasting here as I chew on ice. Sorry. Okay. I've got the OVA file. I've got the prereqs downloaded in my local directory, and I've linked to those. I'm talking to my mobile vCenter and username and password super secret going on there. I'm wiring up the data center defined here. So my data center is called coon-MC01, and I need my mobile cluster I've set up here, which is just one node. So I got that set up. Coon Mobile 01. We're going to do that.
Just a comment on that, while Nick is using administrator, many of us use it in our home labs, but in real world environments, that's not a reality. So this code also goes and checks every minimum permission you need. So matches the documentation. If you do create a service account, which we would typically recommend with minimum permissions, it goes and checks that you've actually that you at least have those. So of course, administrator would have them, but it does every check if it was a really true to life service account.
And that's usually a catching point too, Keith. When people, hey, you need a minimal set of requirements or permissions, it comes back and says you don't have those. But rarely does it tell you what you're missing, and you got to kind of go through. Does this tell you what you're missing? Yep. Awesome.
Very nice.
Of course it does. He shows his work.
Now, do I need to create a resource pool or not?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do.
Because they're the best type of folders.
Yeah. I need a DRS maybe on here.
Yeah.
All right. Configure. Watch Nick.
Yeah. Edit. Turn over.
Edit,
right.
Yeah. And then enable. And then full. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. So I got DRS for one cluster, one VM, and now.
It's not a hard requirement, but it just makes, if you're spinning up multiple foundations, it just makes housekeeping a bit easier.
Is it? I feel like it was a hard requirement.
Oh yeah, but sorry, if you're doing production installs, it's not. This is just a quick and easy way of if you want to how you want to define your AZ.
Okay, because in our documentation it says it's required. And when I tried to do an install and I had DRS off, I feel like it failed.
Okay.
On a single node. So I think, and maybe that's just me. maybe I was doing something wrong, but I feel like I could not get through the original script. I don't know if there's any changes, but on the original script, I failed at least one time, and I did have DRS off when it failed.
Well, and just for those that are listening that may not know, explain DRS.
Magic. It's a dynamic resource scheduler in vSphere, and it allows you, if I had a cluster full of nodes like I do in some of my other vCenters, it auto balances all the VM workload and placement. So it tries to make all the ESXi host balance and balance all the VM capacity concerns across the cluster. And like if you go to say like put it in maintenance mode, it will drain that host and use the power of vMotion and send VMs all over the place, right? And then make sure that host is empty, so then you can like restart it or shut it down and pull it out of the rack and replace it, that type of thing. Yeah.
It's in my head when I think about DRS, like what is it? I just think vMotion. It's the ability to move VMs across the cluster.
Like Nick said, magic.
Too simple. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very clever balancing. Yeah, and there's loads of knobs and switches for fine tuning in there as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm doing my local NVMe VMFS data store. Nothing too fancy. I'm going to select a VSS because I don't have VDS, virtual distributed switching here. I think I just have standard switching in the mobile lab. Go to networks here. All right, TASNet1. I'm going to use this this network. It's VLAN. So we're going to set this instead because I'm repurposing from the already baked episode or foundation. And then now I'm going to copy some of this as well. Let's just go straight back into Ops Manager. And we'll see why I'm getting some of these things. Networks.
And like this is a flat config. Mm-hmm. Like there was feedback. Oh, can we make it interactive? So that's something I'm tipping away at as just give it your vCenter credentials, and then it's kind of a live prompting. Okay, tell me which cluster, gives you all of them. Click, okay, next one. So like you can go to the nth degree as well. And you get to the point of we already have amazing enterprise solution for this, like our Tanzu Platform Automation Toolkit. So it's that balance as well. This is a quick start, get you up and running quickly, where so you can realize the value quickly of this PaaS, what we can do with it. Like for our customer installs, we use Platform Automation Toolkit.
Well, and I kind of see this as playing well with platform automation. This is something, like you said, this is a quick install, right? This is get you up and running. Platform automation help you with the maintenance. That's kind of the way I see it. And yes, you can absolutely install with platform automation, but this looks like it's going to be a little bit simpler, at least for right now.
Yeah, and there's no stand-up. Like to run the automation toolkit, you have, chicken and egg. You need to stand up Concourse. It's an awesome, powerful tool, but you need to stand that up, and that's more resources. So here our goal again is just as small a footprint as possible.
And I think you're underplaying wonderful, awesome tool. I still think Concourse is one of the best pipeline tools out there, in my opinion.
I'm a big fan. And just to talk about Concourse for just a sec, it is not just for Foundry. I use Concourse for all of my Spring Boot. So all the things that are in the DaShaun.cloud, all those things are all automated with Concourse.
Well, not to change this into another show, but you've got a really cool demo that I think we should probably bring up one day using Concourse to do Spring App Advisor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool things you can do with Concourse.
It's hot.
Yeah, and just to follow along here, I am going into my mobile DNS server, and I'm updating the setting here because I don't know. Oh, I do have OpsMan already defined. All right. Perfect. All right. Didn't need that, but I just wanted to double check here. So that's another pro tip. If you're carrying this thing in a backpack and it doesn't have outbound connectivity, I use pfSense, this little VM there to be a DNS resolver because it's going to want DNS of some kind, right? Right, so that's what's going on there. Okay, what was that?
I wrote my own little router. I need to publish that as well because pfSense is awesome, but there's some there's some firewalling in there that you cannot turn off, and it can cause pain sometimes. I've battled with it.
Did I? I didn't mean to bring up a sore subject, but
no, it's awesome. But then when you want to, I wanted to exactly do this thing with this type of rule, and there's other rules.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Bosch. So again, I'll the Bosch network. So as we're like, I'm kind of like just kind of copy and pasting here a little bit, and maybe not explaining as great. But this is one thing that we really want to point out, though. It's like. Yeah. It says reserved IP ranges. So like, you're telling OpsMan and Bosch like, here's this network to use out of vSphere. And like, you give it a, like the VSS or VDS, like actual port group name. And then you got to tell it like, what VLAN it's backing and all that jazz and the CIDR and all that. But the reserved IP ranges is actually like, it's like what Bosch will not use when it's auto assigning IP addresses for VMs and spinning up and down. So it kind of trips up people a little bit, and I'm telling it not to use from .5 to .10 of my /24. So that's kind of what's going on there. And I would have thought that might have been his .0
of the flat file. Yeah, I have some commentary in there just to help with that as well, and give an example.
Yes.
Don't forget in your reserve range, have your OpsMan, if you have a jump in there, if you have little things like that are sitting inside there, because it catches people, but also there's pre-checks that will check it for you.
Yeah, you're ahead of the. Well, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna update this to .0 to .10. I don't know why I have the first 3 not. I'm confused why I made that, because I usually reserve the first 10. So I might be hitting a past Nick that I don't remember. Of like, why?
Who were you?
Why did you do .5, sir? That is not right. I don't like that. And it's going to be like, then we'll remember why I did .5 when something breaks. But hey, all right. So now we have like the base config for all that's needed for the Bosch director vSphere. Now let's go to small footprint, because I don't remember exactly what I called these networking and domains.
And if we need another reason for why people should come to Cloud Foundry Day, that was a big announcement at this Cloud Foundry Day, is that the working group is just, they're coming out with the ability to use non-contiguous IP space in this. That was huge.
Yes. Oh yeah, So like when we're running at scale, having Diego have a, like if we go into this, let's just go in there here. Way down somewhere here. There's like
just another example why people need to come to Cloud Foundry Day, to hear all these things or go back and watch the replays. But that was a huge announcement from Amelia and her working group. I think that's huge.
Yeah, so this overlay subnet thing where you could have, by default, Cloud Foundry will provide you with the Silk overlay network, and that's the overlay network that Diego uses to do all the container magic. You can have non-contiguous blocks. You can provide multiple like chunks of different CIDR ranges, different subnets, and then have that all be then load balance across Bosch effectively. So that's cool. All right. I think I got everything. Let's go back to full screen here. Let's just go here. I've got
the great power of key strip. If you don't, it'll let you know.
That's true. I'm old school. I want to validate my validation before I validate the validation, or automated. I don't know, whatever.
I don't know. I'm almost kind of hoping it fails a little bit, just to show Keith is really looking out for everybody and saying, oops, you forgot something. Go fix this.
Well, I probably did.
He does that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to cross my fingers, Nick, but I'm secretly.
Do you want me to like put something in here that's just garbage?
No.
Let's say he has an extensive testing.
Let's see it.
Let's see if you're as good as Keith.
Okay, so if I'm just perfect and I can, let's get a new PowerShell terminal here, and I need to do this thing. This is the newer version of PowerShell. That tripped me up first too, because when you do PowerShell, it's like, this is like, I don't know what version this is, but you can use and get the latest and greatest PowerShell version. You'll need that for some commandlets and things. So what path am I in? That is let's do open terminal from here.
And by the way, thank you, Keith. I have a tech crush on PowerShell. I love the fact that you wrote this in PowerShell. It is my favorite scripting language.
Yeah, it's nice and Englishly, if that's a word. You know what I mean?
It is now.
All right, I'm going to copy this path because, yeah, I'm lazy. All right, clear ls. All right. Okay, so now I need to go into CF Weekly. Yeah. Side note: the new PowerShell, like it's got like autocomplete and stuff. Like it's a whole new PowerShell, whole new world of PowerShell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I Command PowerShell or Control for the Windows folks? Oh yes, it looks like I can. That is nice. Clear ls. All right, it's kind of feeling like my Mac, but not really. Is it /? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it's trying to. Oh wow. Okay. I guess we're ready to run it.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. I mean,
let's see it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Enter.
Nick is perfect.
Oh, all right. So it's outputting all the stuff I put in there. It's looking good. My vCenter, data store, thin. Always do thin. The full. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Well, Keith, I haven't deleted anything yet. You want to see it and see it freak out when it detects?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, let's do that. So here's the test. It's going to be like, hey, these things exist already. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I did that.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing was the script also, like, if something breaks in the middle, it doesn't like restart. It has these nice like, oh, I see it's already there. I'll pick up where I left off.
Mm-hmm. So it's doing some number crunching here.
All right, Nick. So you made a comment. Let's explain for the audience. You said always use thin.
Oh yeah. So like, thin versus thick. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we're talking about data store allocation of VMs, so you can do a thin provision disk where you can say I'm going to give that VM like 1 terabyte of storage, but on the back end, vSphere is only going to like allocate what's actually used. So it's going to say, all right, that VM thinks it has 1 terabyte provisioned, but if you're only using 10 gig of actual space, you're getting a bunch of savings on the back end, right? Because then you could like oversubscribe potentially that storage as long as you balance it out appropriately. That's just, and then thick would be like, and there's a couple different ways of thick, but like you can do a thick and say just like reserve everything. I want that full 1 terabyte. So that VM, I know that VM has the full allocation. And there's like eager zeroed, and I don't know, like there's one that you can like eagerly zero out that entire block, or lazy zero, I think is the other.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're not, yeah. But yeah, go thin, especially when we're considering these limited resources of a mobile lab, and we got like single consumer 2 tera NVMe drive in there. We're gonna want to not do a thick provision because you could run that out of space pretty quickly when you really don't need all that type of jazz. Did that make sense? Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nick, if you want to go into there's verbose logging on by default in the file, so you can see what's going on, and I see what's going on. Well, I know what's going on is because the
wow, I didn't know this happened. Look at this line's right on the right. You're like, all right, what's going on? What unreachable? Oh, look at this.
So you have given it a huge IP range, so that's why it's ticking through each one, making sure what you said is free is actually free.
Well, that's great because there's nothing worse than trying to troubleshoot a duplicate IP address. All kinds of bad things happen. It's very confusing. There's not necessarily easy fail patterns. I did that the week before Cloud Foundry Day. I accidentally created a duplicate IP address in one of my main labs, and people were angry, and I fixed it, but it took me a few hours to track down that. So very nice.
Thing. Bob in accounting goes out and reserves, an IP in the middle of a block because he thinks he knows what he's doing, and then you hit that.
So yeah, one way if you want to speed it up is just cut the range. You can, if you want to expand the reserved range.
All right, so we can already talk about what's going on here. So it's validated that the OM CLI exists. So that's the OM command, the Ops Manager command line utility, which is nice. it's checking that I've got the Ops Manager OVA, the Tanzu Platform Cloud Foundry tile, the Postgres tile, the Gen AI tile, Health Watch, the Exporter tile. So I mean, we got a full platform here ready to roll. That's great. Made sure that gateway is resolving. Yeah, that's also just like we need a gateway. That's good. If you another weird networking thing, if you spin things up but then don't have a default gateway, but it's like, these two VMs can talk to each other on the same VLAN, but they try to go out there, everything breaks. Like because the gateway is wrong. Anyway, can reach my vCenter. It knows DNS and NTP server. So that pfSense box, that's doing NTP as well. That's looking good. Now the Bosch range looks like it's properly formatted.
That was a tripping up point for some people. Comma separated, hyphen separated, goes checks it all. Space separated, so it goes checks it all.
Very cool. And at minimum of like, hey, I'm going to need at least 11. That's good. And then it's pinging that whole entire network, and then excluding the reserve range. So that's smart. So now it's going to go from what's going to be like .11 through I guess .255.
The moon.
5. .255. So where are we at here? We're scrolling. All right. Yeah. So now I didn't know that was happening. I just thought it was doing a lot of stuff. But this is really cool because in a lot of situations in the enterprise networking world, you may be given like, all right, here's a /23 or 22 VLAN, but there's like a block of 100 IPs free that we can allocate for this project, right? So we're gonna carve that off, but then we also want to make sure that everything else is good, and we're not like in that block of 100 IPs that we think are free. There's not like 10 IPs from Bob, and then we cause problems. So yeah. Okay.
So I'm thinking that this might take a little bit longer than the 3 hours and 15 minutes or the 2 hours and 11 minutes after having everything pre-baked.
Well, I think now we just need a contest of who can get it to deploy the fastest. And now that
it's on.
This pro tip of not give it a full /24.
Yeah, you got to give it that tiniest block. Who can get the deploy down to the fastest?
12 IPs. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
What I was going to say, Sean's going to stack the deck. I'm going to give it. How many do I need? I need 15. That's all I'm going to give it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in practice, though, you probably want to have some room for growth. So I don't recommend actually doing this with only 15 IPs because, you might want to expand, grow your Diego cell pool a bit.
That wasn't the contest, Nick. The contest wasn't to see who could build one that could expand. It was to see who could install it the fastest.
Okay.
But there's a thing here, though, Nick. Like, there's a real business case here. Is because with this small footprint, now we're in this decision of massive cluster or a bunch of smaller clusters. And if I'm going to do a bunch of smaller clusters, I can't give them all /24s. Right. There is a spot where I've got to make these types of decisions. And for the same reason that I like to, deploy on Raspberry Pis, right? If I can do it on this form factor, of course I can go bigger. Of course I can scale it vertically, horizontally. But the key is to start small. And if we can do that exercise of, hey, here's the fastest install that we can do, there is a difference. Right. There's real value in doing that exercise and knowing hey, here's the minimum that you need. Here's what you get. Even on the small footprint, we give it, we restrict it. We say, hey, I think it says 1,000, no more than 1,000 AIs on this configuration. But, if you can go smaller. Like, what do we say? Hey, there's only going to be 50 AIs. Right. I can wrap my head around 50 AIs. It's a microservice architecture that has 3 instances each. I can wrap my head around that, but I can still deploy it again in a backpack size. And having that small reservation is going to be important. And, let alone the install time, which in some cases, right, I can't think of a great one right now, but in some cases that's going to be important too. Well, actually, now I just thought of one where we work with some airlines and they do interesting things on airlines and they're deploying these workloads. And the airplane doesn't have a lot of time when it's landing in between flights. So there is in some cases, there is software being updated on those airlines, on those planes, at the same time you're loading your bags.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
All right.
Milliseconds matter.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of use cases that you can see here. MVPs, prototyping, data center moves, application migrations. I can see a lot of use cases for bringing up something very small very quickly.
Yep.
And now, as expected, Keith has saved me from causing a big circus within my data center. Because if it just started rolling this again, when I already had like ops manager and all these things out there, it would have been unhappy with me. So it's like, hey, things are already installed. Ruh-roh. Not enough memory. Yeah, that's valid. Hey, your ops man's already in use. So please resolve these issues because you failed, right? And I did majorly fail because I forgot to deploy this. So thank you, Keith, for saving me from myself.
Thank you.
I just prevented potentially bad things from happening. All right, so now we get
what does happen now, Keith? So we've got these things we got to go fix. So we can go down line per line and fix them. And then is the script just kind of waiting and saying, hey, I'm going to go check these things again when you tell me that you're good, or what's it going to do?
Yeah, it'll go check them again once you hit run it again. So there's verbose, as I said, Nick was looking at, there's very verbose logging there. It will give tips along the way, what it could be, things like that. So if there was permissions, what permissions were missing, resources, it'll show how many resources, how many resources you had and what it needed, and things like that. So the logging gives you tips along the way.
So while Nick's doing that, I'm going to reminisce about a project. We all understand chaos engineering, like this idea of like, hey, let's go and pull the wires. They had the chaos monkey, the chaos gorilla, and there was a project for Cloud Foundry that was like a chaos engine, and I believe it was the
Lemur
Marvel character.
Well, there was Chaos Lemur.
Nope, there was. Maybe that was for Mesos, but there was a chaos engine for Cloud Foundry, and I forget the name. But I've had this vision for all. I started doing that back in 2012, 2013, of just like, let's go and kill things. And there was even a Doom engine that would throw these servers up, and you could go and shoot servers down. Maybe that's the one that was Cloud Foundry based, but you could go and shoot things down, and it would kill off nodes, and you can bring it back up. Well, I started working on this just yesterday, rebuilding this idea. Let's go and show my infrastructure in some game form, and then be able to go and destroy it. And Keith's little like, hey, go ping those IPs, make sure that they're clean, gave me some insights, made me think a little bit deeper on how I'm doing it. But this capability of standing up and tearing down is not just about standing up and tearing down. It's also about resiliency, right? If region goes away, right, what do? Right, you don't just, hey, the region's gone. No, you have to move workloads. Like Mickey said, you got to be able to pull it up into another region. You got to be able to move these things. And this exercise of deploying, we have a lot of customers. It just works, and it stays there, and it doesn't get upgraded because it's still working. We haven't ran into any limitations. There's still the value in going to the gym, doing these deployments, getting that muscle. That's important. And all of these little things, my head is literally racing on, what if we do throw some chaos into the system? That chaos question, when bad things happen, that is my answer to one big cluster or many small clusters. Right? I feel more resilient with many small clusters versus one big cluster. One big foundation. That's it.
Yeah, I want to say
my wheels are spinning.
There were two things on that. There was Chaos Toolkit and there was Chaos Lemur that I know ran on Cloud Foundry. But that is a great thing to do because not only are you seeing what happens, but this is going to make your developers better as well. Because they need to find out how their app's going to react if there's something bad. And instead of blaming the platform, this is a good way to get your developers into a mindset of getting their app to be resilient as well. So, hard sets, things that have, static connections, those are things that you want your developers to look at. We used to do this at my company all the time. We didn't have the cool tools. I basically just went in and did botch deletes on VMs and not tell anybody while they were running their load testing. But that was my way of doing it. I don't recommend that. I made a lot of people very angry, but their code got better. Their applications got better.
Sorry, Nick, if you want to expand the reserve range, then the audience won't have to sit through a long.
Oh, I hit.
You can kill it. You can kill it.
Oh, kill it. Just Control C.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're going to a pro tip here. All right. Where was that range? Now we're optimizing for speed, not practicality. All right. Oh God, I got it zoomed in here so much. Where's this reserve range?
Yeah, keep going down. Yep. Keep going down, and there you are.
Oh, so should I bump out the
restrictions? You can go like do comma 192.168.101, say 30 to the end of range.
Oh yeah. How about I just do 150 and just give it 50 IPs at the end? Oh, go router needs to be .12. So
yeah, so just do another one, comma.
Yeah.
Another range 192.168.101. Go .30 to the end.
Yeah. 101 dot 20 IPs. I'm gonna do 40. And then 192.168.101.255, right? Yeah.
There you go.
That's looking like
that looks good. That looks good. Pro tip. Did it.
Pro tip. All right. Let's try that again. Yes. I've cleaned up my mess. Hopefully it likes my cleaner lab now. Doesn't have old orphaned deployment that's been powered off for over a year, probably.
So in my move, I've unplugged all the things. The old office, the basement, had all the networking and all the power that it needed. This room does not. So I've had to spread clusters out. I'm spreading these foundations out around the house, around the different regions, the different zones in my house. So everything's not in one spot. It is more spread out. So I've got stuff in the basement. I also have stuff in the cloud, close to the cloud, at the top floor.
Close to the cloud?
The peak of the house.
The literal house.
The peak of the house. And those are running on the T-Mobile 5G network.
So we got the Coon data center and the DaShaun cloud.
DaShaun.cloud, yes. Yep. Which also has a basement. There is a cloud. There's a basement in the cloud.
It just takes longer because it's farther away from the cloud.
Yeah.
Yes.
I suppose technically then mine is the closest to the cloud. My data center's in the attic.
No.
There you go.
Yep.
Does that mean the data gets there faster? I don't know what's happening with my machine. It keeps Mac winning a Mac Rainbow Wheel of Death right now. So am I sharing still?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I still here? I'm like my mouth is moving, but I'm just you can't see the rainbow spin, can you? Or yeah, you can.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, see the beach ball, I think,
I love this
MacBook. Just do it. Just
I'm going to. This is ridiculous. Live on air. I got my beach ball. I'm hanging out.
Do it for your fans, Nick. It's not for you. It's for your fans, so they don't have to watch the rainbow wheel. Frankly, it's irresponsible not to at this point.
Yeah.
I have.
Well, this is
old
fun.
Nooks, and these old Nooks have 64 gig kits in them. There's 4 of them. I'm debating on: is it just time to get rid of them and replace them, or is it worth you? And these are 2018, so they're not beefy. But I've been using OSS Cloud Foundry on it. It works. I still have CF push. It's good. But now I want to do Tanzu small footprint. And I'm wondering, I'm asking you, the experts, is it time to bite the bullet and upgrade these Nooks? They've been with me for so long. They've been really a part of my journey. So there's some sentimental reason that I'm keeping them around. But also I'm running out of space. Even though they're just Nooks, I feel like I need to upgrade. What do you think?
It sounds like you need a bigger house.
That's another way to look at it.
Yeah. I don't think that's the answer he was looking for, though. I gotta be honest.
I mean, there's only one way you could go.
Yeah.
So keep them and get a bigger house.
That's right. That's my vote. I don't like throwing away old equipment. I can always find something to do with old equipment until it actually just dies. Yep, it just dies. I keep it around. That's just me.
That's what's gotten me into trouble is I have all of these machines. So this little game that I'm doing, it goes and it looks at my network and it identifies all the machines and it classifies them. Hey, is this an Android? Is it a Mac? Is it a Linux box? So I get these little pictures. And what I'm going to do is, give myself a little chaos engine so I can let the people that are watching the stream, they can destroy things.
Let's compromise. Let's compromise. Go to Lowe's. You get one of those little yard buildings and you turn that into your data center.
Well, this has crossed my mind.
Yep.
This has crossed my mind. I have the outdoor storage kits that we might do. So very possible.
I think we could build one in a weekend. Let me know. I'll fly up. We'll build DaShaun Cloud out in your backyard.
That sounds
awesome. I mean, you're taking over your son's room. Why you live them any room out in the yard to play? Data centers needed.
Yes, exactly. Hold, please. I'm troubleshooting some issues. Of course, my RDP session died. My Mac is still alive. I'm still streaming, but now I'm trying to get into my PC again that was running all of those commands.
And that's where that's what I love about this show, Nick. This is real life. This is what people go through. This is what
sometimes it's a demo. Sometimes it's a troubleshooting demo.
Sometimes it's a Bitcoin miner that's just taking over your
center. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna go off camera here for a bit. I'll still be here with you, but I need to try to get into this machine really quickly.
Hey, we'll be here.
You guys what's the fun thing? I think you should leave your camera on so we can see you running around your data center.
I mean, so I have to pull up my green screen to access my PC that's running it.
It's okay. You don't need to go off camera. You don't need to go off camera.
I'm going to
do it live.
No, it's I can't do that. It's cool. You'll hear the commotion though. It's gonna be a lot of
commotion. I went down that road of building clusters with NUCs.
Yep.
Like they don't have 10 gig networking out of the box. You have to probably use a dongle to do that.
Yep.
Like it's all possible, but then you get to the point of your return of, okay, how much you're putting into it, the overheads it's adding to it, the heat, the power footprint versus just a big ass box. Running a Threadripper or something. Basically it's the maths in the end of the day as well. What does the math say?
Yep.
Well, let me ask you guys a good question.
That's the notes with the QNAP.
I'm getting into the Turing Pi. I love the Turing Pi. I love that it's small and compact. I'm getting 4 nodes at a time. Compare that to, say, Raspberry Pi. You're the Raspberry Pi guy, Sean.
Yeah, it's effectively. Did I hear a power drill?
I think so.
Jackhammer? No, I'll be done in a second.
Nick just said,
I was pulling down my I have this retractable green screen from Elgato. It's great. So I had to pull it up because my desk is behind that so I could get to it, and then I had to push it back down. So hopefully soon
I heard a power drill.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he was mounting new server racks as we're on the show. It's like the NASCAR of IT here.
Nothing in IT goes that fast. Let's be honest, right?
New server.
Yep.
Racking and stacking on the fly, literally.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I think all services have been restored from my Mac spinning wheel of death demise.
If anybody's watching the stock market, you just saw NVIDIA stock go up.
Yeah.
That's what Nick's doing.
This bolt did it.
Yeah.
New fastest lap by NVIDIA RTX.
Yeah. No, I've actually just gone full AI. I don't exist anymore. But we're here. So maybe he doesn't like my Homelab. Ruh-roh, Scooby-Doo. We passed all the tests except now, Keith. Riddle me this, Batman. It doesn't like it. Do I need to turn something off? I've never run health. We're doing the mass here. This is definitely we're pushing this lab to the limits. So I've got 105 gig of RAM free. And I've never installed Health Watch on here and Health Watch Exporter.
So if you are installing Health Watch, it's looking for 120 minimum. You can turn off.
That's fair.
So 2 options. Let's jump into the flat file and I can show you. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can.
This is good to know.
If you scroll down a little bit into. Oh, there we go. Up a little bit. Sorry, you were just there. So one option is up another 1 line. There you go. So Health Watch.
False.
Yeah, that's one option. Or if you want, because vSphere is good at still managing memory resources, it might slow it down, but you still can get it on there with over provisioning. You keep on going down. I have some overrides you can flag. You can turn on and off.
This is the super secret sauce here.
Yeah, keep on going down, 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 down.
Yeah.
Down, down, down. Keep going down. Good bit. Spin the wheel on the mouse.
Oh, sorry. Can I just search for a string, perhaps?
Yeah, you're already there.
Okay, all right. We're going. We're going.
You can search for overrides, but you're already there. You're just down a little bit. Oh, okay. You're running an older version, but
oh no,
sorry. It's fine because the flags are here. They're just not commented. So here are installer overrides. So you could go, okay, pre-check. We can turn off the pre-checks here, so it'll still proceed. So you can turn off the check.
Do I set that equal to 0?
Yep.
Okay, now this is how we make this go faster. We do no validation. No validation.
Yeah.
We don't recommend that in real world use, by the way. All right. So this is optimizing for speed. So now did I save? Did it actually do I have auto save on this VS Code? I never know when I'm
VS Code doesn't auto save. That's one of my.
So for the folks following along, this is in the README of how to do overrides, and there's comments in the flat file about this.
And the other thing in the README is you give us the range on how much memory it's going to take to do all the things, and that's really valuable too. Thank you.
Oh, let's go. We're installing. So I had to override because I mean, if you're doing this, with any real system, not this little sort of pretend Nook thing I built 2 years ago, you're going to have a lot more than probably 100 gigs free, because I am running vCenter and that little pfSense box on there. So it did consume some of that as well. So got to get room for that, but you gotta have the full package ready to go at any moment.
Tiering. We've talked about on the show memory tiering. If you enable memory
tiering, that would have been a pro tip right there. But I don't have memory tiering on this box because I'm using the NVMe drive for VMFS. So I already solved this problem though. I got some of the minis for them A2s on order, and that it's looking like it's gonna be great. So. Well, that goes.
Here we see installing Operation Manager. It's going to give you some time tips as the install proceeds along, but also again back in the log file, you're going to get very verbose logging of what's exactly going on.
All right.
So you can see more things of the.
Do I need to refresh this, or is it just?
Or if you jump into your vCenter, actually, you'll see the OVA being deployed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, deploy OVF template. Yeah, look at that. It's happening.
Yep. If nothing else, I've decided that those nooks right there, they're going to go away. I am going to make fun of Nick for not doing memory tiering. I am going to,
Hey! It wasn't out when I built this machine. You can't make fun of me for that.
But it only takes you a few minutes to rebuild.
Yeah, but hold on there. I'd have to move my storage to SATA, and that makes me sad.
Well, Nick brings up a good point. I mean, technology moves so slow. Why would you ever go back and rebuild something?
Yeah. I mean, this box will probably just become a gaming PC, a little mobile gaming PC once I retire this, because I think the Minis Forum A2 will replace this.
Have you seen the size of games lately? No, it won't.
No, I mean, it's got 128 gigs of RAM, and it's got an APU in it, and I could put a full-size graphics card in it. It's solid. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we're good there. No worries. All right, so this is deploying. We got Ops Manager going here. Let's look. So that's going. Yeah, Tanzu Ops Manager ready to roll. So that's deployed. That's nice. And then I'm gonna go back to the script here because I like that output a little bit cleaner. So all right, so it's deployed Ops Manager. Now it's ready for it to come online, and it's gonna configure it. So like we're off to the races here.
Off to races.
Just shy
in
of
my lab
hour,
it takes
right?
2 hours.
Yeah I think this like and some so I bet I've ran this multiple times already on my older HP Z440 clusters, and that's Broadwell based CPUs. So it's about more in the 3 hour-ish time frame just because they're older CPU architecture. But I'm curious to see how it does on this Ryzen, because it is a Ryzen 5700G. So now it's only 8 cores, so this thing's gonna be on fire probably while this happens. But
hey, Keith, here's a suggestion for you.
Yeah,
kind of make this more like, if you've been doing, AI's Nick's favorite talk. If you've been looking like any of the agents, instead of sleeping for 30 seconds, like sprinkling magic fairy dust or CF waiting.
Waiting.
add some character into the script.
Yeah, I always free to accept pull requests, right, Keith?
Pull requests are welcome. It's public. Yep.
Can I put some ASCII art in there? Will you approve that? I don't know, probably not. But
I would.
Yeah, we can get some ASCII.
I like progress bars. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm going to go in and I'm going to rearrange all of Keith's comments to be something smart. That's right. And
alphabetize it.
The PR request.
Yeah.
Or center align the code.
That's right.
How many do we want to bring up tabs for spaces? No.
Gentlemen, this was great.
Yes.
Thanks for showing me how fast it is to get going. I need to get off of here and go. Yeah.
One more thing before we leave. I do have a fully baked. So now we put it in the oven. It's going to be back, but just to show you.
Commercial break.
Yeah.
And now we're back.
Yeah, we're back. And we have a fully baked foundation here. And there's some construction work happening above me. If you can hear that coming through right now, ignore that. And then
on the other region.
Yeah, you got the other region being installed right now. And so all the checks passed in this run, and then it ran and it says, hey, we're deploying Ops Manager, ready to go. Then it installed the Boss Director tile, that's ready to go. Then it uploaded the Cloud Foundry tile, did all that jazz, Postgres, everything great there. Got the Cloud Gen AI tile ready to go, Health Watch, everything awesome. And then what I really love about this situation here, so we'll zoom in here and we'll expand this. You're gonna get this. It's kind of. Can I pull this?
And what y'all just experienced was an undocumented command called CF time travel. That's how we got this.
We can. All right. So you're gonna get this great message here. Installation complete. This took 194 minutes. Whatever that is. And next steps. So you're going to get a link to your Ops Manager. You're going to get a super secret admin, whatever you set this to. And, this is clearly the most secure system. And you're going to get log into your Apps Manager, which you can go. And that's what's great is that you're querying the UAA. You're going into Ops Manager, getting that. This is like the root level account for Tanzu Platform Cloud Foundry. So, this is great. Before I'd have to kind of sleuth my way into this account. You're gonna be able to log into there, and you even get in the steps to how to use the CF CLI to CF login. He's already pre-populated that for you too, and then of course he referencing how to download it if needed. And even in the repo, you've got next steps of let's push an app, let's show everything in action. So great work here, fully baked. I really like this. Is a very nice touch at the end. To get going here, and that's where we're at.
And if anybody missed it, DaShaun actually laughed at 194 minutes. He's like 194 minutes. I got
Shame.
it at 132.
Shame.
194. That's cute.
If we can pull up the Game of Thrones shame meme right now, I'm getting that right now. It's on. We're gonna figure out how to get the fastest install possible.
I'm looking. I'm getting rid of this. This box is going away. All of that is going away. I'm looking for the new single box. Get all the beef that we need, and let's go.
Yeah, single node. Get the fastest possible NVMe storage device. Some of these latest that are I don't know, 14 gigabytes a second or something. I don't know.
It's happening.
Obscene.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
All right. Okay. Well, now we are over, but we have achieved what we set out to do in this manner. So yeah, so ops managers were configured. Now we're doing boss director. I will post this. So I'm very curious to see what a single Ryzen CPU can do against a decade old plus Xeon. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah. So maybe I'll have a new result for hopefully.
Maybe. I'll check back with you in 1 hour and 22 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully it's under that 194 situation. All right. Any last steps? I know, DaShaun, you got to go. We're over time, but thanks for hanging out with us again. Keith, major props. This is awesome. I've already been with a customer and run it, so it's already getting real world use. So that's awesome too. So hey, keep up the good work.
Yeah,
and
keep up the good work.
Yeah,
and there's some other things in the backlog. So things like offline model storage, CA certs. If you have a PKI team and they're issuing their own. Those. So I'm always open to more as well. Just feedback. There's a lot of people already using this, giving great.
We like the push button. We like the easy button. This is great, and I'm getting a lot of mileage out of it. I haven't pulled on the latest and greatest. I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to see if I can install mine before Nick's is done.
Oh no! Uh-oh.
And DaShaun, I know you gotta
go. It's something broke, but anyway. Let's ignore that. And that's great. It's wonderful. All right. I'm definitely making a short out of that. But anyway, so I guess, I don't know. We could maybe debug what's happening there. It's probably because this lab hasn't happened here in a while. But yeah, I know, DaShaun, you got to go. We're over time.
You can come on anytime you want, but you can never leave, my friend.
Yes. We're going to turn this hour show into 10 hours, guys. This is going to be a long time. No. Anyway. Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
If it was my show, it'd be over in an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts? Oh,
this is fun.
Good stuff, Keith. This is great stuff. I think this is going to be very useful for people that are trying to get out there and play with this.
Yeah, and that's like, as I said, a lot of it was like this audience here. We've been doing Cloud Foundry, nearly a decade or whatever. There's a lot of people who haven't. Cloud Foundry, Tanzu Platform, it's easy for us to install because we've been doing it many days of our lives. It's not difficult for people new to it, but there's a lot, as it's such an advanced and enterprise-ready platform, there's a lot of knobs and switches. You can get lost in them. So we've just done the bare minimum config to get you up and running, and you don't have to know much. You can get it installed, then learn what all these things are doing.
And it's coming back, baby. The platform, PaaS, Cloud Foundry, it's coming back. All this stuff just going to make it easier.
Don't call it a comeback.
This is the way it should have been all along, and then we can say it is the way it's been all along. You guys are just catching up.
Been here for years.
Yep.
Very cool. All right. It's like it's subscribe time. I still have this terrible pillow. Whatever. I'm probably going to keep it. Right. You should like it, subscribe.
Yeah.
That helps. And then also shout out to Mark Fines. If you haven't seen last week's episode, we've kind of shown you here how to get started into the basics. Last week's will take you to the most advanced use cases you can do with some of the stuff. Like true regional deployments of RabbitMQ and Postgres via this, where he has 3 separate vCenters installed. It's nuts, like crazy. Of like, this is how you turn this platform into a true like actual regional cloud where you could have multiple data centers wire up together and have a single like service just get deployed like the big hyperscalers do. So check that out if you're interested in seeing the what's possible if you go all the way down the rabbit hole, so to speak. But yeah, thanks for watching. And with that, we'll close the show. Thanks for our guests. Thanks, and guys, come back anytime. And we'll close the CFI. How about that?
All right, so next week.
Right.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. CFI.
Bye.
Perfect.
Whoa, that was some time.